Hello, you beautiful walking plot twist. Listen, you know exactly what's happening right now, don't you? Everyone's freaking out. Nobody gets what you just pulled. They're staring at their phones, refreshing group chats, pacing in their kitchens like, what the fuck is this? They're replaying it in their heads, trying to make it fit into the old version of you they were comfortable with. And it doesn't. That's why they're panicking. You broke the script. You were supposed to stay predictable, quiet, manageable. You were supposed to keep playing your assigned role, the reliable one, the background character, the one who doesn't make people uncomfortable by actually changing. But you didn't, did you? You did something that doesn't line up with who they decided you were. You switched lanes. You cut someone off. You quit the job. You stopped apologizing. You stopped begging. You stopped staying small. And now they're like, what is this? Who does this person think they are? Here's the punchline. They don't actually want an answer. Because if they understood what you just did, they'd have to admit one ugly little truth. They could have done it too. And they didn't. So instead of saying, damn, that took courage, they say, this is crazy. Instead of saying, I'm impressed, they say, you've changed. Instead of saying, teach me, they say, you've lost it. You haven't lost it. You finally found it. You know what you just pulled? You broke a pattern that was slowly killing you while everyone clapped for your stability. You were dying in slow motion, smiling on the outside, rotting on the inside, answering messages you didn't want to answer, supporting people who'd never show up for you, working jobs that ate your soul so you could say, at least I'm being responsible. Responsible to who? Them. The committee of people who are now freaking out because you stopped performing for their comfort. You made one move for yourself, and suddenly the alarm system in their heads is blaring. How dare you leave that job? People would kill for that position. How dare you cut off family? Blood is everything. How dare you walk away from that relationship? They weren't that bad. How dare you rest? Grind culture never sleeps. How dare you want more? You should be grateful for what you have. Grateful, sure. Obedient, no. You know why they can't explain what you just did? Because your move didn't come from the version of you they think they know. It came from the version of you they've been ignoring. The one who's tired of swallowing disrespect. The one who's exhausted from holding everyone's weight. The one who looks around at this circus and says, I didn't come here just to suffer politely. People are acting confused, but don't get it twisted. Their confusion is a mask. Underneath it is fear. Because when you do something that breaks your old character, you accidentally expose theirs. You just proved that the cage opened the whole time. You just proved that I can't was just I won't, with better PR. You just proved that the thing they've been pretending is impossible is actually just terrifying. You didn't just change your life. You messed with the ecosystem. You were the one who always said yes. Now you're saying no. You were the one who always minimized your dreams. Now you're saying them out loud. You were the one who always accepted crumbs. Now you're pushing the whole table back and saying, actually, I'll build my own. Of course they're freaking out. You were a character in their story, and you just decided to become the main character in yours. You know what happens when you stop acting like a side quest and start acting like the storyline. People who benefited from your silence start calling you selfish. Good. Let them. Because let's be honest for a second. How many times did you lay awake at night, thinking, if I don't keep everyone happy, they will leave me? How many times did you rewrite messages 10 times so you didn't sound too harsh? How many times did you shrink your success to make sure nobody felt insecure around you? And the second you stop bending yourself into a pretzel for their comfort, suddenly you're the villain. Perfect. Wear it. You know why that archetype hits so hard? Because the villain is usually just the one person in the story who refused to keep playing dumb. You're not confusing. You're not complicated. You're not doing too much. You are simply no longer willing to betray yourself for likes, approval, or a seat at tables where you're only loved when you're losing. Everyone's freaking out because you quietly announced with your actions, "I'm done performing." Your phone feels different now, doesn't it? Some people are suddenly concerned. Some are passive-aggressive, asking those little fake soft questions. Are you sure this is the right choice? Is this really you? What happened to the old you? The old you was exhausted. The old you was numb. The old you was playing the good soldier in a war that wasn't even yours. You didn't lose the old you. You buried it. And you're not digging that body back up just because they're nostalgic. They want the version of you that tolerated their laziness, their disrespect, their emotional half-effort, because that version of you made them feel safe. Not loved, not seen. Safe. Safe from being challenged. Safe from being called out. Safe from being left behind. The second you say, "I want more," you become a walking reminder that they settled. And nobody likes a reminder. So now suddenly, you're the topic. They're screenshotting your posts. They're analyzing your decisions like it's a crime scene. Did you see what they did? What do you think is going on with them? Who do they think they are? You know who you are. You're the person who finally decided to stop gaslighting yourself. You used to feel something was wrong, and you'd talk yourself out of it. I'm overreacting. It's not that deep. I should be grateful. No. Your body knew. Your gut knew. The exhaustion, the resentment, the random waves of sadness for no reason. That was data. You just finally listened. And when you listen to yourself for the first time in a world that benefits from your self-abandonment, it looks insane from the outside, because they can't hear the conversation you had with yourself at 3 a.m. They didn't see you staring at the ceiling thinking, if I don't change something, I'm going to disappear inside my own life. You didn't pull some random stunt. You executed a prison break. So now they're confused. Good. Let them study you like a glitch in the Matrix. Why would someone walk away from stability? Because peace is worth more than a paycheck that drains the life out of you. Why would someone stop talking to their own family? Because family isn't a hall pass for repeated emotional damage. Why would someone suddenly stop being available? Because burnout isn't a personality trait, and you're not customer service for everyone's chaos. You're not doing this to be dramatic. You're doing this because pretending was killing you. Listen closely. You are under no obligation to make your transformation understandable to people committed to misunderstanding you. They don't get what you just pulled because they still think life is about obeying the script they inherited. Go to school. Get a decent job. Stay where it's safe. Don't ask for too much. Don't stand out. Don't rock the boat. Die politely. You snapped that script in half. So now to them, you look reckless because you're no longer worshiping their God, other people's opinions. you're throwing everything away. No, you're throwing their expectations away. You're not crazy. You're just no longer willing to be emotionally broke so other people can feel secure. There's a part of you that's scared, though, isn't there? Because when you finally do something big and people start freaking out, a little voice in the back of your mind starts whispering, "What if they're right? What if I messed up? What if I'm actually delusional?" That voice is the ghost of the old you, begging for a comeback. Ignore it. You know what's actually delusional? Spending your entire life twisting yourself into shapes that hurt, just to keep people who would never bleed for you comfortable. You weren't reckless. You were honest. Honest about the job. Honest about the relationship. Honest about the friendships that were one-sided. Honest about what you want. Honest about what you can't keep pretending is fine. You did something terrifying. You chose yourself in a world that trains you from birth to choose everyone else. People have no idea what it costs to finally pick you. They don't know about the panic in your chest when you hit send on that message. They don't know about the sweat on your palms when you said, "I'm done." They don't know about the way your hands shook when you signed that paper, accepted that offer, declined that invitation, cut off that access. They're confused because they're only seeing the action. They didn't live through the build-up. They didn't survive the nights where you were one thought away from giving up completely. So when they ask, "What the hell is this?" This is survival, in disguise as a bold move. You didn't pull a stunt. You pulled yourself out of the grave they were decorating with. At least you're stable. Let them gossip. You've been silently suffering for years. The universe owes you some noise. They're going to try to drag you back into the old script, by the way. Suddenly people who never checked on you will appear like, "I'm just worried about you." No, they're worried about losing their access. They're worried about losing their emotional punching bag. They're worried about losing the version of you that said, "It's okay," when it absolutely wasn't. When you walk away from dysfunction, dysfunction will call you dramatic. When you walk away from manipulation, manipulators will call you ungrateful. When you stop overgiving, the people who feasted on you will call you selfish. Let them talk. Talk is cheap. You paid full price for this level of clarity. You know what you should be afraid of? Not this new path. Not this confusion you're causing. You should be afraid of going back. Afraid of going back to editing yourself down into a manageable human. Afraid of going back to begging for the bare minimum. Afraid of going back to being so numb that you call it fine when your soul is screaming. You didn't come this far to play dead again. You might feel alone right now, and that's real. When you change, your old environment starts spitting you out like a rejected organ. You're too different now. You don't laugh at the same jokes. You don't complain about the same things. You don't participate in the same low-level chaos. You're not boring. You've just outgrown the drama that used to distract you from your potential. Yes, the group chats might go quiet. Yes, some invitations will stop coming. Yes, some people will distance themselves. Let them go. If your growth offends them, they were never clapping for you, only for the version of you that served them. You're not supposed to be understood by everyone. You're not a public service announcement. You're a personal revolution. What you did looks wild, because most people will live their entire lives fantasizing about doing what you just did and never actually do it. They'll daydream about quitting. They'll daydream about leaving. They'll daydream about starting. They'll daydream about saying no. You did it. That's why it feels so intense. That's why their reactions are so loud. That's why your own fear is so high. You hit a level of real that most people only visit in late-night thoughts and deleted notes apps. So listen closely. When they say, "I don't get it," you don't need to give a TED talk. You don't owe a thesis paper. You don't have to present a 20-point logical argument so they can stamp "approved" on your life. You owe one thing: to keep walking. You felt the cage. You broke the lock. You stepped out. Now the game is simple, not easy. Don't go back inside just because the hallway is quiet and unfamiliar. You're going to have moments where doubt hits you like a truck. You'll scroll social media and see people who stayed where you left, smiling like everything's perfect. You'll catch yourself thinking, maybe I was being dramatic. Maybe I overreacted. You didn't. You finally reacted. Growth feels like madness from the inside because your nervous system is addicted to chaos, to people-pleasing, to survival mode. Peace feels suspicious at first. Freedom feels fake. Self-respect feels extreme. Give it time. What feels too much now will become your new baseline soon. The day is coming where you'll look back at this version of you and think, how did I ever live like that? How did I tolerate that? How is that my normal? And they'll still be saying, I don't get what you did. Good. They weren't supposed to. You didn't make this move for the ones who only understand you when you're small. You made it for the version of you who almost gave up because you thought you were trapped. You shook the snow globe. You flipped the table. You canceled the old contract. Everyone's freaking out. Nobody gets what you just pulled. They're all asking, what the fuck is this? This is you, finally choosing to live a life that makes sense from the inside, even if it looks insane from the outside. This is you, refusing to stay where your soul goes numb, just because your body knows the routine. This is you, breaking alignment with their comfort and locking in with your truth. No matter how loud the noise gets, no matter who panics, no matter who falls away while you keep moving forward. Because this is what nobody tells you. The moment you stop being predictable, people stop feeling safe around you and the masks start slipping off their faces one by one. You've noticed it already. The jokes that suddenly have an edge. The just checking in messages that feel more like interrogations than concern. The way they bring up the old you like it's some kind of holy relic you're not allowed to outgrow. Remember when you used to be chill? Translation: remember when you used to be easy to control? You changed the vibe. You went from reliable background character to uncomfortable mirror, and people hate mirrors that show them what they've been avoiding. You can feel it in rooms now. You walk in, and conversations stutter for half a second. People glance up, do that quick micro-expression shift, like they're mentally switching tabs from talking about you to talking to you. They think you don't notice. You always noticed. You just stopped pretending you didn't. There's this thing that happens when you do something bold. People start assigning motives to you that say more about them than about you. You quit the job. They think they're better than everyone. You left the relationship. They're probably seeing someone else. You set a boundary. They're acting brand new. They can't fathom that your move was about survival, about sanity, about not waking up every day feeling like you're dragging a dead version of yourself behind you, like luggage. You know that feeling you had before you did it? That restless, buzzing energy in your chest. that low-grade disgust with your own routine, that tiny thought that kept popping up in the shower. Is this really it? Is this all I'm going to let my life be? That wasn't you being ungrateful. That was the alarm system. You kept hitting snooze, smiling, performing, posting, nodding, telling yourself other people have it worse. Like guilt was an acceptable substitute for joy. And then one day, something snapped. Maybe it was a sentence. Maybe it was a disrespect you'd swallowed one too many times. Maybe it was waking up and feeling absolutely nothing at all. Whatever it was, you reached that quiet internal line. I'm done. Not loud, not dramatic, just final. You made the move, the text, the call, the decision, the pivot, and instantly, reality started rearranging itself around you. People will act like your choice was random. They forget how long you were dying in installments. You weren't impulsive. You were overdue. The wild part is, half of them knew. They knew you were underpaid. They knew you weren't respected. They knew that relationship had you questioning your worth. They knew you were carrying more than your share. They just also knew you were the type to keep enduring, to keep explaining, to keep hoping. You stopped being that type. Now they don't know where to file you in their mental cabinet. Are you still the reliable one, the nice one, the always there one? Their system crashed because your new behavior doesn't match the old files. You're glitching their expectations, and somewhere deep down, you can feel this strange mix of terror and relief. You've stepped out of the simulation you were raised to worship. Don't upset anyone. Don't be difficult. Don't choose yourself in public. The fear is loud, sure. What if I can't pull this off? What if I end up alone? What if I regret this? But there's another voice, really low, kind of calm, almost annoyingly grounded, just sitting there like, you would regret staying more. You know that. On some level, you always did. You're not chasing chaos. You're chasing alignment. It just looks like chaos to people who only move when things are on fire. You felt the temperature rising in that job, that dynamic, that life. You left before the building burned down with you inside. They're calling you reckless. You're the only one who noticed the smoke. Here's the twisted part. You're living through the stage no one posts about. Everybody loves the before and after story. I was miserable, then I risked it all, and now everything is perfect and aesthetic and branded. That middle part, the part where you've left the old thing but the new thing isn't fully built yet. Crickets. You're in that middle. You left the cage, and you haven't fully figured out the map of the outside world yet. Your brain, by the way, hates that. It's addicted to predictability, even if predictable pain. At least you could count on it. So some days you miss the old hell, not because it was good, but because it was familiar. You scroll photos. You remember inside jokes. You replay good moments. Your mind edits out the disrespect, the exhaustion, the way you felt small next to people who enjoyed you small. That's withdrawal talking. That's not truth. That's nostalgia with selective memory. You're not crazy for missing what hurt you. You built an entire identity around surviving it. You were the hard-working one, the loyal one, the forgiving one, the ride or die. What happens when you're no longer willing to die? Who are you then? This is where it gets uncomfortable, because you're rebuilding your identity in real time. You're not just changing habits. You're changing what you believe you deserve. You used to settle for half effort because deep down, someone trained you to believe full effort wasn't for you. You used to accept breadcrumbs because deep down, someone convinced you a feast was too much to ask for. You did something wild, you asked, you demanded, or you walked away when they wouldn't meet you there. That's what everyone is reacting to. Not the move, but the message behind the move. I'm not living like that anymore. People can handle a rebrand. They cannot handle a standard. You raise the price of access to you. People who are getting VIP passes to your time, energy, body, and attention without earning it are now being told to step outside and stand in line. Of course, they're offended. They thought they were part of the furniture in your life. Permanent. Untouchable. You reminded them they're not. You know what kind of power it takes to do that. To look at your own history with someone, your own investment, your own memories, and still say, I choose my future over this. That's not cold. That's courageous. Weak people stay where the story is slowly killing them. Strong people walk into confusion, uncertainty, judgment, rumors, and silence, just to protect a version of themselves they haven't even fully met yet.